G'day. To our friends around the world, welcome to Terminus Global's virtual helicopter tours. This is episode 2. Today's destination is Paris, France. This tour will be done during the day and night. We're going to focus on 3 areas of the city: the legendary Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe, and the Louvre Museum. We have a special treat for this tour: passengers. Let me introduce them. First is Deanna. Welcome, Deanna. Tell me about yourself and why you chose this tour with Terminus Global.
Hi, Max. Thanks for having us. I'm Deanna. This is my son, Jordan, and we're from Mishawaka, Indiana. Jordan's doing a paper in social studies on Paris, and after seeing your video on YouTube out of Dubai, I figured this would be a great way for him to experience Paris firsthand.
Thanks, Deanna from Mishawaka.
That's Mishawaka.
Sorry, Jordan, and thanks for the correction. Since you made yourself known, maybe you can tell us about yourself and why you decided to come on this tour of Paris.
Okay, let's get this out of the way early. I'm here because Mom said so that's why. I'm Jordan, I'm 13, and I'd rather be home playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Can you tell me about that design on the floor at the base of the tower?
Sorry, I can't. I've been researching that topic getting ready for this tour. I don't know. If anybody has the answer, I'd like to know.
The space below this tower is huge. You can almost fly an airplane through here. Has that happened before?
You know, Jordan, for somebody who really didn't want to be here, you certainly have a lot of questions.
He's up, old man, and answer the question.
Jordan, you apologize to Max this instant or we're canceling this entire trip.
I'm sorry, Mom. I was wrong. Max, I'm sorry. Truth is, I couldn't wait to get on this tour. But I'm a teenager. I can't be seen to enjoy a trip with my mom, can I?
I completely understand, Jordan. Your secret's safe with me. I'll tell you what. I'll let you put on your man face before leaving the helicopter so the rest of the tour group doesn't realize you enjoyed yourself.
Sorry to change the subject, but I heard this thing looks even better at night. Can we come back at night and see it?
I'll do you one better. Just a second.
Wow. How did you do that?
Will you look at that?
The flight simulator allows me to transition from day or night. It also tracks weather conditions in real time. If it was raining in Paris right now, we would be flying through the rain.
Awesome.
Deanna, you don't seem surprised by what we just did.
I am, Max, but seeing this view of the tower lit up at night just takes my breath away.
Now we transition to the Arc de Triomphe. If you want an overview of the Arc de Triomphe, I have selected the Res World Travel Arc de Triomphe tour on YouTube.
What was the inspiration for the design?
The design was primarily based on ancient arches, such as the Arch of Constantine in Rome, 85 AD.
How tall is it?
The Arc de Triomphe has an overall height of 162.5 feet.
When did the construction begin?
In 1806, after the victory at Austerlitz by the Emperor Napoleon.
Why was it built?
Initially for the marriage of Napoleon I and Marie Louise of Austria, but it wasn't ready in time for the wedding, so a life-size replica of the finished product was created by wood and canvas in its place.
Did the construction of the tower continue after Napoleon was out of power?
Not right away. After the fall of Napoleon and the arrival of Louis XVIII, the construction of the Arc de Triomphe was suspended.
So, how did it restart?
In 1823, Louis XVIII mandated that the Arc de Triomphe be finished immediately with a new dedication, the Army of the Pyrenees, which led to the current dedication of the Armies of the Revolution and the Empire in 1832.
Does Paris host parades around here on the anniversaries of those famous battles?
Many over the years, but out of respect for the tomb of the unknown soldier in the center of the Arc, the parades never passed through the Arc but went around it. Both Adolf Hitler in 1940 and Charles de Gaulle in 1944 observed this custom.
Gotcha. When was it finally finished?
In 1836. It took 30 years after construction for the Arc de Triomphe to be finally inaugurated.
What are those figures engraved on the Ark?
The monuments represent the departure of the volunteers of 1792, also called La Marseillaise by Francois Roudet.
What do all the names listed on the ark represent?
In 1836, Lieutenant General Sancier Nueges proposed 3 lists of names: 30 decisive battles of the Revolution and the Empire, 96 feats of arms, and 384 generals to decorate the pedestals.
Is the Arc de Triomphe's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier like the one in the U.S.?
The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier contains an unidentified French soldier from World War I buried beneath the Arc de Triomphe.
What's so important about him?
The soldier represents 1.4 million French soldiers who died during the war. An eternal flame is rekindled daily at 6:30 p.m. above his grave.
What do the words on the slab mean?
The slab on the top bears the inscription you see here. Ici repose un soldat français mort pour la patrie, 1914 to 1918, which is translated, here rests a French soldier who died for the fatherland, 1914 to 1918.
You said something about an eternal flame? Did they get that idea from JFK's gravesite?
Quite the opposite. In 1961, U.S. President John F. Kennedy and First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy paid their respects at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, accompanied by President Charles de Gaulle. After the 1963 assassination of President Kennedy, Mrs. Kennedy remembered the eternal flame at the Arc de Triomphe and requested that an eternal flame be placed next to her husband's grave at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia.
That kind of looks like the wheels of a bicycle. Why did they do that?
That's an excellent observation, Jordan. Initially, it was a law and order effort to enhance the capital's monuments. This was a major redevelopment assimilating multiple neighborhoods. The end state was the 12 star-shaped avenues linked by 4-story mansions of identical architecture. Now we transition to the Louvre Museum. The best video I found of a tour is Rick Steves' Europe on the YouTube channel. Let's get started. The Louvre, or the Louvre Museum, is a national art museum in Paris, France. A former royal palace, it's known for its collection of celebrated paintings collected by the French kings, including the Mona Lisa of Leonardo da Vinci.
You mean the Ninja Turtle?
No, that turtle and all the other Ninja Turtles were named after Renaissance artists like Leonardo da Vinci.
How did so much art and sculptures get into the Louvre?
There were a lot of artworks in the museum already, but the collection was increased under Napoleon after the Napoleonic looting of art in Europe, Egypt, and Syria. The museum at that time was renamed the Musée Napoleon.
I saw on the Discovery Channel that Napoleon was kicked out. What I don't know is what happened to the stolen art and sculptures.
Excellent question, Jordan. After Napoleon's abdication, many works seized by his armies were returned to their original owners. Over the years, under different rulers and kings, the content of the museum increased exponentially.
Was the Louvre always a museum?
No, the Louvre Palace, which houses the museum, was begun by King Philip II in the late 12th century to protect the city from attack from the west.
It doesn't look like a fortress now. What happened?
The building was redesigned and extended many times to form the present Louvre Palace.
How did it become a museum?
When Louis XIV chose the Palace of Versailles for his household, that left the Louvre primarily as a place to display the royal collections of ancient Greek and Roman sculpture. In 1792, Louis XVI was imprisoned, and the royal collection in the Louvre became national property.
When did the museum open?
The museum opened on 10 August 1793 with an exhibition of 537 paintings, the majority being the works of royal and confiscated church property.
I know the Mona Lisa is in there. How big is that painting?
You know, Jordan, many images of the Mona Lisa are portrayed as larger than life, but the original painting is quite small, measuring roughly the size of a newspaper.
Why is this so famous?
Let's start with the name. The first name of the lady who sat for the painting was actually named Lisa, specifically Lisa del Giocondo. The term Mona is short for Madonna, a name commonly associated with the Virgin Mary.
Or the pop star?
Yes, Jordan, her too. In addition, the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre in 1911 by Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian handyman and former museum employee. The theft transformed the relatively unknown painting into a global icon as was published in newspapers around the world.
So, when did Da Vinci paint the Mona Lisa?
Da Vinci started painting it in 1503. He made several changes over the years, so we don't know for sure when he stopped modifying it. X-rays showed that under the current painting there are 3 other versions.
So what's with that weird smile?
The painting represents Leonardo's technique of simpato.
Meaning?
It means blended. Da Vinci's works spreaded layers of very diluted color one on top of the other to obtain soft and nuanced paint. It's the simpato technique that gives Mona Lisa's smile an ambiguous expression.
She's facing the opposite direction. Why is that?
That's the contrapposto technique, consisting of rotating the torso and the head in opposite directions.
It looks like she's wearing a veil or something. What does that mean?
Mona Lisa wears an obscure veil, which was stylish in her era for pregnant women or for those who had recently given birth.
What made Da Vinci choose her for the portrait?
He didn't. Her husband, Francesco del Giocondo, commissioned Da Vinci to do her portrait.
What can you tell me about Lisa?
Born in 1479, she was 24 when she sat for the painting. She was the 3rd wife of Francesco del Giocondo, who was 31, while Lisa was only 16. She had 5 children and lived to the age of 63.
There's a lot going on in the background. Are those real places?
They are. The bridge you see on the right of Lisa Giocondo's shoulder would be the Buriano Bridge on the River Arno. On the left, you can see a river inside of a gorge.
So, how much is the painting worth?
As of 2024, the Mona Lisa is worth $1.039 billion.
Can I take pictures inside of there?
The use of cameras and video recorders are permitted inside, but flash photography is forbidden.
Why?
To protect priceless, light-sensitive artwork from damage. Intense, frequent flashes can accelerate the fading of pigments and the eventual breakdown of materials.
Is there a way to get a complete tour of the Louvre without having to walk the entire structure?
There is. Beginning in 2013, the museum contracted Nintendo to create a 3DS-based audiovisual visitor guide. It contains over 30 hours of audio and over 1,000 photographs of artwork and the museum itself.
I didn't know that.
Can we go in to see all of the works inside the museum?
Obviously, it would be impossible to go inside the Louvre via helicopter, but that doesn't mean the tour can't continue. See our display. Credit for the images and the information is provided by the tour guide guidebook at https://thetourguide.com. The tour guide listed its top 10 things to see in the Louvre. We'll start at the bottom of the list. The tour guide's number 10 is the Great Sphinx of Tanis, which also goes by the name the Guardian of the Louvre Museum. Found in Tanis, Egypt's capital during the 21st and 23rd dynasties, she is one of the largest sphinx you could find outside of Egypt.
So what does the word sphinx mean?
The word sphinx is a Greek word signifying the close relationship between the sun god Ra, the lion's body, and the king, the human head. The Great Sphinx of Tanis is located in the Sully Wing, Floor 1, Room 338, Crypt of the Sphinx. At number 9 is the Code of Hammurabi, a well-preserved Babylonian code of law of ancient Mesopotamia. The Code of Hammurabi dates back to about 1754 BC.
It looks like a finger.
Good eye, Jordan. It is the shape of an index finger and measures 7.5 feet or 2.5 meters. On the top, you can see the figure of the god Shamash presenting the Code of Hammurabi to himself. It's located in the Richelieu Wing, Floor 1, Room 227, Mesopotamia. The tour guide's number 8 is a sculpture of Venus de Milo. Venus de Milo dates back to around 100 BC. Unearthed in 1820, the ancient Greek statue came from the island of Melos. It depicts the goddess of Venus, who represents love, beauty, sex, and fertility. While the name is Venus today, it may not be the goddess Venus at all.
What do you mean?
I mean that Venus is a Roman goddess and not a Greek goddess. Aphrodite was the Greek goddess of love, and thus her name should be Aphrodite de Milo. It's located in the Sully Wing, Floor 1, Room 346, which is the Parthenon room. At number 7 is a sleeping hermaphrodite.
I've heard that word before. What does it mean?
Hermaphrodite, in the classical reference, is female in appearance but possesses the bits and pieces of a male. If you walk up from behind, you'll see what appears to be a beautifully soft woman of practically perfect proportions inviting you into bed with her. There are some extra parts. The sleeping hermaphrodite is located in the Sully, Room 348. At number 6 is the most famous piece of art in the museum, the Mona Lisa. We covered her in great detail earlier.
Why is this painting so famous?
The Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci is undoubtedly the most famous painting at the Louvre Museum and probably in the world. In 1911, pictures of the Mona Lisa appeared in newspapers around the world. If you've ever wondered why the Mona Lisa is so famous, this is one of the main reasons. Surprisingly quite small, it's located in the Denim Wing, Room 711. On the list at number 5 of the tour guide's top 10 things to see at the Louvre is the Raft of Medusa. I found the tour guide's description of this painting extremely interesting. Painted by Theodore Géricault, the Raft of the Medusa depicts the brutal aftermath of a French boat that ran aground in Africa on July 2, 1816. The remaining survivors, as many as 150 men, built a raft of the ship's lumber to save themselves. After almost 2 weeks, only 10 of them survived.
Wow, 140 died. What happened to them?
They endured extreme dehydration, despair, and angst, and even resorted to murder and cannibalism.
That is so sad. It sounds like some of the movies I've seen.
La Redoute de la Méduse, or The Raft of Medusa, in 1990, is a primary film detailing the 1816 French shipwreck depicting incompetence, cannibalism, and tragedy that inspired Géricault's famous painting.
How did the painter make the men so realistic?
Here's the most interesting part. In preparing for the painting, Géricault interviewed at least 2 survivors. He had them pose for him to get the right figures as realistic as possible. Géricault also studied corpses to get the true representation of the tone and color of the dying flesh.
That looks like a pretty big painting.
It is. The painting is on a huge canvas of 16 feet by 23 feet, which makes it even more powerful. It's located in the Denim Wing, first floor, room 700, which is the Moyenne room. Now we're moving to the top of the tour guide's list. At number 4 is the Coronation of Napoleon. This famous Louvre painting depicts the coronation of Napoleon, which happened in the famous Notre Dame Cathedral.
Who's the artist?
Napoleon commissioned painter Jacques-Louis David, but gave him precise instructions on how and who should be depicted. With lifelike detailing, the painting depicts over 100 individual people.
Wait a minute, that's a woman being crowned.
Good eye, Jordan. That's Napoleon crowning the Empress. Depicting this part of the scene instead of his own coronation was a nobler gesture. The painting was an instant success, with Bonaparte himself showing his pleasure. The painting is located in the Denim Wing, Floor 1, Room 702. At number 3 is Psyche Revived by Cupid's Kiss by Antonio Canova. One of the most romantic works of art in the Louvre Museum, Cupid and Psyche, is a sculpture that depicts the 2 young lovers in an embrace. Here, the Princess Psyche wakes up for the first time with a kiss from Cupid. The sculpture depicts a story written by Roman poet Lucius Apelles in the 2nd century AD. In the same motion as the above sculpture, Canova created another version of the ancient legend. This is really a compelling story, so bear with me a few minutes while I break it down. Proserpina was the unwilling wife of Pluto, the god of the underworld. Venus, the goddess of love, sent Psyche with a jar to the underworld and had Proserpina fill it up with the secret of divine beauty. Venus warned Psyche not to look in the jar, but what woman would carry a jar of divine beauty and not take a peek? Unfortunately for Psyche, the jar was not filled with beauty but the sleep of innermost darkness. Psyche fell into a deep sleep. Cupid found Psyche asleep with the jar next to her and knew what had happened. His heart was broken, so he took her in his arms and gave her one last kiss. Cupid's kiss of true love revives Psyche, and Canova's statue adds life to the moment she awakes.
That is really a wonderful story, Max. Was Canova as famous as the other sculptors in the same era?
Canova reached such fame during his life that they say his funeral rivaled that of Michelangelo in Florence or Raphael's in Rome.
I really want to see this sculpture. Where is it located?
Also in the Denon Wing, room 403. Now we reach the top 2 works in the tour guide's top 10. At number 2 is Liberty Leading the People. Delacroix, the painter, is considered one of the greatest romantic painters of the French Romanticism. He was the Bernini or Michelangelo of that era. The painting is an allegory of the 1830 Revolution. Liberty is depicted as the bare-bosomed centerpiece holding the tricolor flag of France. This was the flag that the militia bore when storming the Bastille.
What about the people alongside of her?
The figures alongside Liberty represent all classes fighting together. The man in the top hat is a member of the French upper class. In the same line are a factory worker, a student, and other professions alongside one another.
I've seen this lady before in other places, am I right?
You are, Jordan. The figure Liberty is not unique to this image. She stands in the New York, New Jersey Upper Bay, outside of Manhattan. Liberty is famous iconography of ancient Greek origin. Her semi-nude appearance is likely a historical reference to ancient Greece. Finally, number 1. The tour guide chose the winged victory of Samothrace. In ancient Greece, the goddess of victory was called Nike, which was the shoe brand that takes its name today.
What's so special about it?
Perspective. With intricate detailing, the majestic sculpture looks as though her clothing is billowing in the wind as she stands atop the prow of a ship. Your perspective, based on where you stand to see the sculpture, is really important.
What do you mean?
As you walk up to the statue, make sure you walk up the right side of the stairs if possible, since the statue was created to be viewed from its front left side.
I really need to try that. Where's it located?
It's located in the Denon Wing, floor 1, room 703. And that's it. I want to give a definite shout out to the tour guide's guidebook for providing the fascinating content for us to review. See what other recommendations he has. And that completes our tour of Paris, France.
Sorry, Max. I had one more question.
Sure, Deanna. What's that?
I loved An American in Paris with Gene Kelly, especially the ballet scene. What were some of the locations where they filmed the movie?
Only one. The MGM studio backlot in Hollywood.
Wait, what? An American Paris was not filmed in Paris?
Not at all. The studio recreated the iconic Parisian spots. And that's all, folks. That completes our virtual helicopter tour of Paris, France. Before we go, I wanted to give you a preview of the upcoming tours with Terminus Global. Next, we will visit the ancient city of Rome, Italy. More about that shortly. Future tours will include the presidential bust on Mount Rushmore, the Statue of Liberty in New York City, the Arch in St. Louis, Missouri, the Grand Canyon in Arizona, Stonehenge in England, the Giza pyramids in Egypt, the Taj Mahal in India, the Parthenon in Greece, and a host of others. Coming soon, we will be doing live streams of Terminus Global's helicopter tours. We will select a suggestion each month for the live tour. The selected winner will be our avatar passenger for the tour and will be online with us during the tour. Keep in perspective, while this tour is for entertainment, it can also be an educational tool in the classroom. Finally, a lot of work goes into researching and producing these tours. If you like the presentations, let me know by selecting the like button below. If you want to stay in the loop on what we are doing here at Terminus Global, select the subscribe button. I'd like to thank our passengers Deanna and Jordan from Mishawaka, Indiana. Did you have a good time, guys?
I really did, Max, and I learned a lot. I'd like to come back for future tours with Terminus Global. Thank you so much for being our host, tour guide, pilot, and if I may be so bold to say, our friend?
Thanks for everything, Deanna. It really touches me. How about you, Jordan?
Man, this was so cool, Max. I had a blast. I could care less what my friends think when we land. I had a ball. And Mom, I'm glad you brought me along.
Oh, sweetie. Thanks. I needed that. Time to wrap up now, Max?
It is. As I mentioned earlier, our next tour is the city of Rome, where we'll visit the Colosseum, St. Peter's Basilica, and a host of other sites in this beautiful and historic city. This has been Terminus Global's virtual helicopter tour presented by Microsoft 2024. For Terminus Global, I'm your pilot and tour guide, Max. Until next time, clear skies for miles and a soft landing.